Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our terrifying tales. Tonight we delve into the shadowy depths of urban legends where fear takes on new forms and lurks just beyond the veil of reality. We're talking about the creatures that stalk the night, the unseen entities that send shivers down your spine and make you question everything you thought you knew. Get ready to explore the stories of 3 unseen creatures said to haunt our cities. These are the tales whispered in hushed tones, passed down through generations, each one more chilling than the last. Keep watching, if you dare. Welcome to our channel, where we dive into the darkest corners of urban legends. Today, we uncover the terrifying tales of 3 unseen creatures that haunt our cities. Imagine this: a desolate street shrouded in an eerie silence. The kind of silence that makes you feel like the world has stopped turning, and you're the only one left. The only light comes from a flickering street lamp, casting long, dancing shadows that seem to writhe and twist with a life of their own. These shadows play tricks on your mind, making you question what is real and what is merely a figment of your imagination. This is where it lurks: the shadow stalker, a creature of the night, born from the deepest fears and darkest corners of the human psyche. They say it was once a man, driven mad by grief and consumed by darkness, a tragic figure who lost everything and, in his despair, became something else entirely. Now it roams the abandoned buildings and forgotten alleyways, its form a grotesque mockery of its former self. A twisted, shadowy figure that seems to be more shadow than substance. Some say it's a formless entity, a sentient shadow with eyes that gleam with malevolent intent. Eyes that pierce through the darkness, seeking out those who dare to wander alone. Those who claim to have seen it speak of a bone-chilling coldness that seeps into your bones, a feeling of being watched by something ancient and evil, a presence that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. They say its presence is heralded by an unnatural chill in the air, a sudden drop in temperature that sends shivers down your spine, a cold that feels like it comes from another world, a world of shadows and despair. The shadow stalker is a predator, drawn to the fear and despair of its victims. It thrives on the emotions that most people try to hide, feeding off their terror like a parasite. It waits in the darkness, patiently stalking its prey, its presence a suffocating weight on your chest, a weight that makes it hard to breathe, hard to think, hard to escape. You might catch a glimpse of it in your peripheral vision, a fleeting movement that vanishes as quickly as it appeared. A shadow that seems to move with a purpose that you can only guess at. But don't be fooled. It's there, lurking just beyond your sight, its eyes burning into you, feeding on your terror, eyes that seem to know your every thought, your every fear. Some whisper that the shadow stalker doesn't harm its victims physically, not at first. It prefers to play a longer game, to draw out the torment and make it last. Instead, it prefers to torment, to drive them to the brink of madness with its haunting presence. A presence that is always there, always watching, always waiting. It toys with their minds, whispering their deepest fears, their darkest secrets in voices that seem to come from the very walls themselves, voices that echo in the darkness, making it impossible to tell what is real and what is not. They say that once you become aware of the shadow stalker, it will never truly leave you alone. It becomes a part of your life, a constant shadow that follows you wherever you go. It will continue to haunt your steps, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond your perception. A darkness that is always there, always waiting. So the next time you find yourself walking alone at night, remember the shadow stalker. Remember that the darkness is not empty, that it is filled with things that you cannot see. Be wary of the shadows, for they might hold more than just darkness. They might hold the very essence of fear itself, waiting to pounce on the unwary. They might hold the very essence of fear itself. Fear that is as old as time, fear that lurks in the shadows, waiting to be discovered. The witching hour, a time when the veil between our world and the next wears thin, a time when the midnight wanderer walks among us. Unlike the shadow stalker confined to the shadows, the wanderer craves the open night. It's said to be a tall, gaunt figure draped in a tattered cloak that conceals its features. Some say it's the spirit of a restless soul, cursed to walk the earth for eternity. Others believe it's something far more sinister, a demon drawn to the city's underbelly. The Midnight Wanderer appears only during the witching hour between midnight and 3 a.m., when the world is at its darkest and most vulnerable. It stalks the desolate streets, its presence marked by an unnatural silence that seems to swallow all sound. Those who claim to have seen it describe a feeling of unease, a primal fear that claws at the edges of their sanity. They say its eyes glow with an eerie light, piercing the darkness like burning embers, capable of seeing into your very soul. The Midnight Wanderer is drawn to those who are lost, both literally and figuratively. It preys on the vulnerable, the desperate, those who have strayed too far from the light. Some say it whispers promises of guidance, of solace, luring its victims deeper into the darkness. Others believe it simply observes a silent witness to the city's nocturnal underbelly, its motives as inscrutable as its origins. But one thing is certain: to encounter the Midnight Wanderer is to invite terror into your life. It's a chilling reminder that even in the heart of a bustling city, there are still places where darkness reigns and where creatures of the night roam free. So the next time you find yourself alone on the streets after midnight, remember the Midnight Wanderer. Keep to the well-lit paths and avoid making eye contact with anything that seems out of place. For in the realm of urban legends, curiosity can be a dangerous thing, especially when it draws the attention of something as unsettling as the Midnight Wanderer. The Midnight Wanderer is not just a tale to scare children. It is a warning to all who dare to venture into the night. Those who have encountered it often find themselves haunted by the experience, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. They speak of a lingering dread, a sense that the wanderer is never far behind, always lurking just out of sight. Some carry protective charms, hoping to ward off its malevolent presence, but few believe they truly work. As the minutes tick by, the fear grows, for the witching hour is a time when anything can happen, and the Midnight Wanderer is always on the prowl. So heed the warnings and respect the night, for the Midnight Wanderer is a reminder that some legends are born from truth. And in the darkest corners of the city, where the light barely reaches, the wanderer waits, ever patient, ever watchful. As dawn breaks and the first light of day chases away the shadows, the Midnight Wanderer retreats, but only until the next witching hour. Until then, stay vigilant, and remember that in the heart of the city, the night belongs to the wanderer. Chapter 3. The Subway Phantom. Deep beneath the city's bustling streets, hidden in the darkness of tunnels and the echoing silence of empty platforms, lurks the Subway Phantom. It's a creature born of the city's underbelly, feeding on the anxieties and fears of weary travelers. Imagine the scene. The last train of the night rumbles through the tunnels, its flickering lights casting an unsettling glow on the graffiti-covered walls. The air is thick with the metallic scent of ozone and a palpable sense of unease. This is where the Subway Phantom thrives, in the darkness and isolation of the city's veins. Some say it's the ghost of a train conductor who met a gruesome end, forever bound to the tracks. Others believe it's a malevolent entity, drawn to the negative energy that pulses through the city's transportation system. The Subway Phantom is said to appear as a shadowy figure, lurking at the edge of the platform or reflected in the darkened windows of the train. Those who claim to have seen it describe a feeling of being watched, of being stalked by something unseen, their every move scrutinized by an unknown entity. They say its presence is accompanied by a sudden drop in temperature, a chill that seeps into your bones and sends shivers down your spine. The air grows heavy, making it difficult to breathe, as if an invisible weight has settled upon your chest. Some whisper that the Subway Phantom can manipulate the very fabric of the subway system, causing lights to flicker, trains to stall, and disembodied voices to echo through the tunnels. It's said to delight in tormenting its victims, playing tricks on their minds, making them question their sanity. You might hear the sound of footsteps approaching, only to turn and find yourself alone on the platform. Or you might catch a glimpse of a figure standing behind you in the reflection of the train window, only to turn and find it gone. The Subway Phantom is a master of manipulation, feeding on your fear, your paranoia, your every anxiety. So the next time you find yourself riding the late-night train, remember the Subway Phantom. Be wary of the shadows, the flickering lights, and the echoing silence. And whatever you do, Don't look behind you. You never know what you might see lurking in the darkness. The subway phantom is not just a ghost story, but a reflection of the city's own fears and anxieties. It embodies the collective unease of those who traverse the underground labyrinth daily. The subway system, with its intricate network of tunnels and stations, is a world unto itself, a place where the boundaries between reality and the supernatural blur. Tokens of the past, remnants of a bygone era, still hold the energy of countless souls who have passed through these subterranean passages. Old photographs and memories of the subway's history add to the mystique, painting a picture of a place where time seems to stand still. As you walk through the empty cars, you might feel the weight of history pressing down on you, the whispers of the past mingling with the present. The subway phantom is a reminder that the city is alive, its veins pulsing with the energy of millions, each with their own stories, fears, and dreams. So the next time you step onto an empty platform, listen closely. The echoes you hear might not just be your own footsteps. They might be the whispers of the subway phantom, reminding you that in the depths of the city you are never truly alone. The shadow stalker, the midnight wanderer, the subway phantom. Three chilling tales of unseen creatures lurking in the shadows of our cities. Are they just stories, meant to scare us into staying indoors after dark, or is there something more to these urban legends? Let us know in the comments which creature you found the most terrifying, and be sure to subscribe for more chilling tales from the darkest corners of our world. Until next time, stay safe, keep your lights on, and never forget, the unseen are always watching.